How's it going, guys? Bloody Vintage here. I just wanted to show you my setup for late war, sort of winter 44, New Year 45, Operation Veritable, crossing of the Rhine near Wessel and stuff like that. Basically, this is sort of my first attempt at setting this up, so always down for feedback. I'm not the expert on this, but this is kind of what I found through pictures and research would have been worn. Now, the first thing is to notice the life jacket, obviously just for river crossings. So that would be mainly the Rhine, as well as there was a lot of flooded areas at the start of Operation Veritable that the Canadians had to go through as well. So this wouldn't be uncommon to find. Obviously, I'm not going to be wearing every single second. The only reason I have it on is because it's a pain in the butt to do up in the back. So I had that done before the video. So I already have another video on the life jacket, so you can go check that out. I'll sort of show you the rest. Obviously, I do not have my Lee Enfield number 4. Mainly, I just don't have one yet. A little bit pricey up here in Canada, but eventually I will have one. And again, if you do have one available, please shoot me a message. Obviously, PAL and in Canada, all that good stuff. That being said, I got my GS shovel, and actually I was lucky enough that my dad actually already had this. It's Mark number 2 Bulldog, which was sort of more of a Jeep shovel, but it works great for a GS shovel, especially the D handle for the Canadians. Especially in Veritable, you'd see them carrying it a lot more like this. I'm guessing they just had to dig in more often, and honestly, when carrying it like this, it's actually quite comfortable. It moves around a little bit, but really, you barely notice it, and it's readily accessible when you have to dig in. Obviously, you have your Mark III Bren pouches, and if you can, get a Bren mag as well as a good filler, and make sure it's riveted off at the proper amount for whatever your government sort of needs, which these are. Then obviously you have on the back, you have your gas cape. So this is actually a post-war rain cape, so don't judge it too harshly. Gas capes, you can get repro, white price glory. Originals are obviously very expensive. I just use this just because it's not sticky, it's easy to use, and it's pretty much the same color. And the tape I found really hard to find, but I just went to a sewing supply store and found some very similar tape than you would have found on the gas tape. Also have my lightweight respirator bag here, so that'd be kind of offset here, and as well as my entrenching tool. Now you notice, I believe I have another video. I think I did it in the Blanco video. But if you see down at the bottom, and here, this one actually has a tab. So 44 and 45, I've seen dated with the tab and the carrier, as well as you'll notice I do not have the lug for the bayonet. Again, that came out in 44 and 45 as well. So it wouldn't be uncommon to find this mixture. Obviously, the most common one would be without the tab and without the lug, as those were early and mid-war that would still be in heavy supply. So what else we got here? I think that's pretty much a setup. I got my trigger finger gloves, Canadian. There was no tags on them, so I can't really tell if these were World War II or maybe Korean War, but they work great. Again, this is just a wool scarf I found. It's not an issue. Same thing with the toque. Wool toque I found, not issue. So those wouldn't be exact. Obviously, the guys would be grabbing anything and everything that they could. The helmet is an MKII with original chin strap and original two-tone cover as well. And actually, it's been done nicely before I got it. And I believe it was actually original because I got it in a lot of military that was in a kit bag from World War II. And you'd have that oilcloth on that as well. So, and then some guys would actually have the MKII dressing shell on the back. The only reason I haven't put it in here, I just didn't want to stretch the helmet nut, as I have another one that I stretch for that, because this one is a nice original example. And then the boots, you cannot see, but the boots and gaiters. I wish I could get you closer. The gaiters are actually British with the leather tabs. It wouldn't be uncommon to see a Canadian soldier with British webbing, or a British soldier with Canadian webbing. As I understand, it was very mismatched. So I know a lot of guys got hung up on that. Don't quote me on it. I didn't investigate, would flip over every single soldier's webbing during World War II, so I don't know. But that's what I like to use the leather. I find slides a lot nicer. as well as I have the Canadian pattern ammo boots. These are original, but they're 1965 dated and actually have the rubber bottom. So they're supposed to obviously be hobnailed, but these were used as an occupation force in Germany after the war. Yeah, so I think that's the basic setup. I don't think I'm missing anything here that I can think of. Also the bayonet holder. You got your bayonet for the MK4, or sorry, the number 4. And as well, I don't have the actual retaining strap that you would have had for the pattern 1907 bayonet. That would be pretty common to see as well, but it would hang a little bit lower than the post-war ones, which were a little bit shorter for like the C7 bayonet and things like that. Okay, I hope that sort of does the trick. Probably missed something there. The Battledress is this is a pattern 1949 converted to pattern 1937 by CS Pen Historic here in Canada, in Toronto. I do not have it badged. Note, I have not done that yet. I'm going to do probably Canadian Engineers 3rd Division, because they would have been there in Operation Veritable. So obviously don't judge me on that. I'm not a big badge guy or badge expert, so that's why I haven't really applied them yet. I want to be sure that it's accurate before I go ahead and do that and stitch it on. And then these are Repro pants, but again, they're pattern 1937, so you would have found pattern 1937 on the Canadians and probably pattern 1940 on the British. That's the exposed buttons, which you obviously won't be able to see here, but you can sort of dig in. So these are the covered buttons in the pattern 1937. And as well, for those of you with a good eye, yes, I know this is not a leather jerkin. I do have an original leather. I prefer not to wear it out in the wet weather. It's dated 1944. This is a 1955 PVC vinyl. I find it works great, especially in a size number 3 large for a guy like myself that's 6'3". And again, it's just a lot more, I guess, kind of waterproof for using outdoors. So those are just a few things that I just wanted to state, as I know there's definitely sticklers for attention out there, and I don't want to mislead anybody on how the setup would be based on sort of my my tweaks. So I like to be transparent as possible, and I guess that's all you really need to know for this. All right, well, you guys have a good day. I'll see you again soon.